and welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. I'm Mayastar, and today we have another unscripted video. As always, I come armed with notes, and today we'll be meandering around the topic of the Constellation of Bliss Light Body Activation Attunement course, lucid dreaming, and astral projection, as well as looking at the energy body or light body and the importance of balancing and activating our energy body in order to maintain our health but also progress the spiritual path. So if this sounds interesting to you, stick around, and over the next half an hour or so we'll be looking at this subject in a meandering and eclectic kind of way and pursuing the scenic route to enlightenment. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe and share this page with your friends. So starting out with the Constellation of Bliss, this is an energy attunement course that was channeled through the goddess Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the great mother goddess, and she is connected with the gifts of intuition and healing. She is known as the goddess of love, mercy, and compassion, and is often depicted as holding a bottle that contains the tears of the people that appeal to her for support and help. She is considered to be a bodhisattva, which means she is essentially a light worker, but also an ascended master. So this is a being that has achieved enlightenment, but then has, rather than moving on to another plane of existence, decided to linger in the lower realms in order to support and encourage the spiritual progress and healing of others who are following that same path. So connecting with Kuan Yin can be an important step in your healing journey, but also in your spiritual progress. And through the Constellation of Bliss attunement, Kuan Yin supports you in integrating your energy body so that you can align with your original etheric blueprint. Now, your original etheric blueprint carries the highest energetic codes that you can embody as part of your spiritual expression, the expression of your soul energy in the mundane or temporal world. And by doing this, you increase your capacity to work with higher frequency energies, because you are drawing in high frequency energy but integrating it at a lower level so that it can be expressed. So you're effectively translating those new frequencies, and the importance of that is that you're grounding them. Without grounding them, they exist in an incomplete form. They can't be used the way that they can if you're working with them. They have greater potential when you are connected with them, because they are your unique energetic signatures. So nobody else can complete that process for you. It's in the living of your life that you access those energies and justify them by expressing them in your own unique way, and hopefully consciously, because that's what we're trying to do when we're healing. We're trying to consciously work with those energies and choose the way we progress the path. Life will choose some of those steps for you, but you might as well make the most of whatever you can do to speed the process along and help things go more smoothly. So the constellation of bliss attunement is a single attunement, and it's one that I most often recommend to people who are either learning some sort of divination technique, so they need to enhance their intuition and learn to interpret symbols, or if they were perhaps learning dream interpretation so that they could learn to decipher the messages that come through to them in dreams and visions, or somebody that's taking the chakra healing and light body activation intensive with me through Maya Magical, and they want a system that they can work with during this that will support the work, and this is perfect for that. So this week's meditation track will also be great for those working with the constellation of bliss or taking the 21-day chakra healing and light body activation intensive. If you are taking that intensive and you want to learn this system to support the process, the healing process, I recommend using it the morning after you receive the energy transmission for that night. So there are 21 energy transmissions that are sent to you during the rituals for that intensive, and I recommend people receive those at night when they're most receptive to the energy, but also because when you go to sleep you are naturally grounding those frequencies, and that is a natural process that helps with the integration of the energy. But then if you want to work with another energy healing system to support the work, this makes a great system to connect with first thing in the morning after you've had the energy transmission the night before. And another benefit of light body activation is any spiritual gift can be amplified by it, because you're bringing a stability to your energy body. You're making it stronger and more balanced, so the flow of life force through the system is amplified. Everything goes a lot more smoothly, everything flows more powerfully. Your connection to things is enhanced by that increased flow of energy, and that can enhance all of your spiritual gifts, your empathy, your healing abilities, and your manifesting abilities can all be increased by working with the constellation of bliss to activate your light body. We also call it the energy body, or some people refer to it as the astral body. On Monday, when the week ahead spiritual guidance and mystical musings video comes out, the energy update video that comes out on Monday, I will talk about this course in more detail at the end of that, so you may want to check that out on Monday. And on Wednesday, of course, the meditation will be released, or the official meditation video will be released. But if you check now at the time that you're hearing this, you'll find that it's already come out on the releases tab on YouTube or on Spotify Music, Amazon Music, all over the music apps. And the meditation for this one was quite interesting. It's another time where I felt moved to get out my guitar, and I'm finding that quite often with Kuan Yin for some reason. It's not a sound that I would have associated with the goddess, but it is one that seems to resonate deeply with divine feminine currents. And it includes a sort of deep, bassy beat sound that is a little bit like a heartbeat, which also brings to mind the Great Mother Goddess. So the meditation can be used when you're working with the system, or when you're receiving the attunement, or any time when you want to connect with that frequency. So if you're receiving the energy transmissions for the 21-day chakra healing and light body activation intensive, that's a good time to work with this meditation. And I've also released the 12-hour looped live streams overnight. So if you want to put it on in the background while you're sleeping, this is a good track for enhancing your experiments with lucid dreaming and astral travel. So it's a great track. If you just want to remember your dreams more clearly, this would be a good meditation to play as background music for sleep. As always with Mayastar courses, if you take the Constellation of Bliss attunement course, the attunement is set up for you using the Orb of Life method, which allows you to receive it at your convenience and without making an appointment. And all students receive a copy of my ebook, The Book of Inspiration, which includes information about attunements, energy anatomy, Reiki, the meridian system, the chakra system, meditation, different kinds of light beings, and a little bit about how quantum physics and metaphysics are tied together. So that helps you gain a bit of context when you're taking a course with Mayastar. So even if you haven't got any experience of energy healing or energy work at all, you receive enough of an education to gain a good overview of the subject and be able to understand and work with the system that you're being attuned to. And the process for receiving attunements is quite simple and is obviously detailed in the course materials that you receive. But I recommend that when you receive the attunements, you use the meditations that I put out, because that will help you to connect with the energy. It also will give you a way to connect with that energy in future if you regularly use the meditations. So what I mean by that is our minds are very powerful when it comes to changing our level of consciousness. They recognize patterns, rituals, and habits quite quickly and start to respond to those. For example, when you want to go to bed at night because you want to go to sleep, you have a routine that gets you to that point, such as cleaning your teeth, at which point you've sent a message to your brain that you're not going to be eating any more food, it's time to stop eating. And then you get into bed, oh, it's time to stop moving, we're going to be still now and get cozy. And then perhaps you read a book for a while, so you're reminding your brain now it's time to be quiet and focus within a bit. And then you turn off the lights, and that's the key to your brain to say, now it's time for us to go to sleep. And that little ritual is very powerful, and it often works. Well, for many people it works. For some people it wakes them up, but that's a different story, isn't it? And of course you could listen to my meditation tracks overnight, and that would be another thing that you could use as part of the ritual that tells your brain it's time for us to run all the programs that help us get to sleep. And the same thing applies to your energy work and energy healing practice. So for example, if when you were starting, say, a Reiki session, usually you might visualize the chokure symbol or something like that to start you off. Or you may have a ritual where you move your hands around to start feeling the flow of the energy or something like that. You may have your own little routine that you go through to connect with that energy. And another way to do it would be to use the meditation that I put out for Reiki. So the sounds are intended to connect with those frequencies and to inspire you to connect more deeply with those frequencies, but on an energetic level, by resonating with those light codes within your energy field so that they become amplified by the music and you're able to connect more powerfully. But on a mental level, you're also sending a message to your conscious mind that when you hear this sound, this is what we're doing, and I want you to align with a certain state of consciousness. I want you to connect me with my certain abilities at this point when I'm listening to this music. Now, you don't need to do this by telling your brain, right brain, when I put this music on, I want you to do this. It will happen automatically if you use it whenever you're connecting with that energy. So when the sound waves go into your ear, your brain goes, oh yeah, we're doing that. And that's another way that you can then connect with that particular energetic current. So if you go through the meditations playlist that I've put together on the YouTube channel, you'll find that there's a lot of meditations you can use that correspond with different energy healing courses that I teach. So, for example, the Avalonian trilogy has its own meditation track, and recently the Archangelic Flames attunement has its own track. The Center of Stillness activation. There's a lot. I couldn't sit here and recite them all, but check them out because there are a lot of different energies you can connect with, and this adds another dimension for you to connect with them. And anyone can listen to the meditations. Anyone can use them as ambient music, as background music for whatever you're doing. But if you're attuned to them, I recommend using them when you're connecting with those frequencies in particular, so that you can maintain that trigger, so that it always will help you to get back into that mindset, back into that state of consciousness, and to get those particular energetic currents flowing for you. Because I chose this course for the current special offer, when I was looking for questions this week, I was looking for questions that related to this course. And although these ones didn't specifically relate to the course, I recommended the Constellation of Bliss for these inquirers because they were inquiring about courses to enhance their ability in either lucid dreaming or astral travel. So lucid dreaming, I'll start with lucid dreaming, is where you become aware that you are dreaming while you're in the dream. And it's a bit of a skill. Now it may be something that has happened to you from time to time, but making it happen deliberately is not quite as easy. But there are a few things that you can do to make it more likely that you will have a lucid dream, or to support you while you're developing the skills so that you can have them at will. When I say that you can have them at will, if you really want to work towards that, it's going to take a time. It's going to be a matter of years for you to work on that, because it really does take work to program your mind so that it will wake up and question your reality while you're dreaming without waking you up properly, if you know what I mean. Well, you want to wake up in the dream, but you don't want to wake up in real life, because that would rather defeat the object. So now the usual way you would go about developing this skill, well, there are a couple of things. The first one would be to start writing down your dreams. That's essential. I mean, you really wouldn't get anywhere with lucid dreaming unless you were writing down your dreams, because that sends a message to your to your brain, but also to your unconscious mind, that you are on board for whatever messages come through, that you're paying attention and that you are interested, and that you're going to be taking those impressions seriously. Also, writing down your dreams can help you to identify things like feelings in the dream, or colours, or just the very basics. So even on mornings where you don't think you had any dreams, you don't remember any specific dreams, you may wake up with an impression of a certain colour or a certain emotion, and all of that can be written down into your dream journal. Those things count as well. So that's sending the message to your mind and to your unconscious mind, your conscious and unconscious mind, that you are invested in this process, that you are interested and paying attention, and you want your conscious and unconscious mind to cooperate on this project. And as well as writing down your dreams being the first and most important step, another process is to start bringing your attention to reality throughout the day. Now, I usually would recommend people do this with fixed times. You don't have to. It could be any sort of habit, like every time I use the loo, I'm going to spend 5 minutes. Well, you don't even need to spend 5 minutes, maybe 1 or 2. Bring your attention to your breath, so get your focus within yourself. And then do something like look at your hands, count your fingers, or do something like that to help you remind yourself that you are currently awake and this is reality. Maybe you tap something that's close to you to make sure it makes the right noise, or something like that, because in a dream you might tap it and it doesn't make the right noise. And although this is a great technique and that will really help you if you want to develop some skill in lucid dreaming, but it doesn't always work. Like, usually it works for me as well, but there have been a couple of times where I have woken up within the dream and thought, hang on, am I out of my body? I'm not sure. And I start moving around and I'm thinking, right, is this, it feels solid enough, I guess I'm awake, when I'm not. Because it feels solid enough, my mind has recreated things to be exactly as they are, and I can't tell the difference. Usually the things that will give it away that you're actually in a dream is that something's wrong with the light. The light is coming from the wrong direction, or there's no source of light but you can see everything in the room. Things like that, where it gives you a clue that you're not actually awake. Or, as I say, it could be that you look down, you start counting your fingers, and you realise you actually can't feel them because they're not really there. Or you look down and they're generic hands but not really your hands. And that sort of thing, it can help you to wake up within the dream. But for your unconscious mind to pull that stunt while you're in a dream, you're going to have to have done it a lot of times while you're awake, if you know what I mean. So this is why it takes a long time to develop the skill to the point that you can do it at will. But if you want to be able to do it at will, you need to be very dedicated in a daily practice of reality checks, just to get your mind used to that process. And for astral travel, you can start off by lucid dreaming, because lucid dreams will often come before you start astral traveling. I think people imagine that when you learn to astral travel, you just sit in a meditative state and suddenly your body goes flying off. It can happen that way. It doesn't usually happen that way. It's most often that people will spend quite a significant time in meditation, or be in the process of falling asleep, essentially. In that in-between state, when they're able to astral project. So a lucid dream can easily become the start of an astral travel session. And if you hold that intention when you're developing the skill for lucid dreaming, then when you wake up within a dream, you'll think to yourself, as I do, brilliant, where am I going to go now? And start your investigations on the astral plane, where there's an awful lot of stuff you can investigate. But one of the challenges you can have with astral projection is it is very tiring and not something you should do too often. You need a few days usually to fully recover if you've been properly out of your body, to get your energy properly grounded. So that's something you can work on at the same time as developing the lucid dreaming ability, is work on your grounding. Either work with an energy healing system that will help you to ground your energy, like Archangel Gabriel's empath encoding can be a very good way to ground. The Light Sanctuary activation can be a good way. Dark Moon Mother protection. Goddess Diana's Mirror Shield activation, which although it's a protective energy, it's also very grounding. So those would be good options for working on grounding and protection, which both are very important when you're learning to astral travel. And the constellation of bliss, of course, can help you to awaken the energetic codes within your energy body that will help you to develop those gifts to your greatest potential. And when we say that it's to your greatest potential, it's because not everybody's going to have the same gifts, but also you don't always have access to your greatest potential. You often will be blocking yourself from it by believing in certain limitations or holding on to certain beliefs about yourself and your abilities. Certain doubts, certain fears can all hold you back from achieving what's actually possible for you. So the constellation of bliss can help you to move beyond those limitations, and those gifts that you may have been blocked from become more accessible to you. You're able to feel those energies more strongly, you're able to express them in new ways and develop new skills such as lucid dreaming or astral travel. But you don't have to be working on lucid dreaming or astral travel. Any type of energy work can be enhanced by this attunement, because your whole body is created of different types of energy. So the physical body would be the densest level of energy, and your spiritual body and the highest states of consciousness you can access will be the most subtle energies, but they're all connected together. They all exist within the same space, but in different dimensions at the same time. So when you're connecting with these different levels of consciousness, the connection is within you, and you will experience it more strongly within you when you're working with the constellation of bliss. And your light body is the body that you are using when you're dreaming and when you're astral projecting. So creating a more integrated, stronger, more defined energy body can help you with all of those things. And I also wanted to mention a few articles that you can find on the Mayastar website at mayastar.net, where you will also find the Constellation of Bliss course. And if you look in the description for this video or podcast, you'll also find a link to the specific course page there. And the articles you can find on the podcast or on YouTube by searching for the titles, or by going to the articles section of the Mayastar website. There's also the video coming out on Monday where I'll be talking in a bit more detail about the constellation of bliss while covering the energy update, so look out for that. But the other articles that I'd recommend are 5 Ways to Increase Your Intuition, the Akashic Records and Egregores, 5D Planetary Ascension and Spiritual Awakening for Indigo Children and Light Workers, Great Goddess Kuan Yin, Enlightenment, Compassion and Healing, and Light Language and Light Codes, Your Questions Answered. As I say, you'll find all of these on this channel or podcast, or you can enjoy the written version on the Mayastar website at mayastar.net, and you'll find a lot more articles on there. A lot of articles, in fact, yeah. You'll also find links on there to Maya Magical, where I list my shamanic services, the spells, magical intensives, and tantric shamanic rituals that I perform for people, all the different options and the different packages that are available. And on the Mayastar website, you'll find over 100 attunement-based energy healing courses that are separated into categories that you can navigate depending on your area of interest. So you'll find crystal energies, fairy energies, Lemurian energies, Reiki energies. I always recommend people follow their intuition when they're looking for a course. I'm happy to offer advice if you contact me by email through the website. Tell me what it is you're looking for, what you're hoping to achieve through your energy work. At that time, are you looking to learn some healing skills? Are you looking for self-healing techniques? Are you looking to develop your connection with the angels or something along those lines? If you want advice or recommendations, then contact me by email through the website. And you can also join the mailing list and receive the special offers when they come out, and some of the exclusive special offers as well. At the time of recording, we've just completed the Lionsgate Portal Magical Intensive. It's been a very powerful magical intensive. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that the energy was that fast moving. It's been building up for a while, and we are between 2 supermoons at the moment. The blue moon is coming up. So the energies are extremely heightened. If you wanted to start learning energy work or astral travel, lucid dreaming, any of those things, this would be a very good time, because the energy of the blue moon is said to make some things possible that aren't usually possible. So now might be a good time to try something that you've previously imagined was impossible for you. It probably isn't, and the universe might be sending you a message, and if you're watching this video, that message might be meant for you. So be open, be receptive, and see where the universe guides you. And I think that might be it. Let me just check my notes to make sure that's everything that I intended to cover for today. And I hope you've enjoyed this unscripted video. I have. And I hope you've had a good week. I hope you're about to have another one, and I hope you'll come back and see me this time next week for some more mystical meanderings. So have a wonderful week. I'll see you soon, and in the meantime, I wish you peace, prosperity, and progress in all you do. With blessings.